guys, and welcome to one of the biggest weeks of the year in PGA, the Players Championship. We got a killer deal available for a limited time only where you can save 33% off of your first payment to a Run Pure subscription.
By using the promo code PLAYERS33, you can knock 33% off your first payment on a Run Pure subscription. Our team has been crushing PGA since day one, and what better opportunity to join Run Pure Sports than a week where we will see some monster tournaments. Last year, BigT won the Players Championship Millie Maker, and our team has not slowed down since, with big wins from Hoop and AP, among others, making Run Pure's PGA team the most elite in the industry. Our members have been on fire too, shipping 2 Millie Makers in the past year. You can find all the best DFS players in our PGA Discord channel, chatting about weekly slates, so get in there today and access all the great info.
If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel already, make sure you head on over now, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you know when we go live for all of our free PGA shows. We cover main slate and Showdown, so whatever you are playing, we got you covered.
Sign up today for a premium subscription to Run Pure Sports and take advantage of our promo for a limited time only. Use the promo code PLAYERS33 to knock 33% off your first payment on a Run Pure subscription.
Thanks again, guys, and make sure you head on over to Run Pure to take advantage of that promo code, only available for a limited time, and find out why our members are crushing PGA by accessing our great premium content.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports NBA Hardwood Show. I am your host, Mangone. And as DC said last week, you guys probably want this party to be over because we're going to talk about the party for about 15 minutes. We were talking pre-show a little bit about some of the basketball matchups. BigT posted his bets in the coordinator's chat. He also has a 2-unit banger. He has Dunkel over DC. So DC, let me get your rebuttal, your counter. You said, let's get this show going because you got a lot of things to say, it sounds like.
I'm hurt. It's just it's a hurtful act by BigT. I wake up in the morning, head over to my computer. First thing I do, open the Discord, go to the coordinator's channel, and I see, a lot of discussion going on. And I see, people talking about the odds, and I see that BigT has posted his official card. Of course, I got to, scroll up the Discord to read it. I'm all excited. I figure Big T's probably backing this boy DC. I think he set up the match live on air. I thought, maybe he thought it was a good match for me. No, all these bets lifted, like 15 bets, only one 2-unit bet on the entire card for Big T. And of course, betting against DC on Dunkel. And I gotta say, I think this is a bad bet by Big T. I like my chances here, but Dunkel's talking a lot of trash. It's giving me a little bit of pause. My confidence not as high as it was a few days ago, so we'll have to see it.
I don't know if you saw the video online. Dunkel lifted the entire rack at the gym. He's out there grinding. So Big T, let's go over to you. Do you want to go over your card, rebuttals for DC? What are some of your thoughts here?
No one knows how I work. I might come back tomorrow and put 4 units on DC. You never know. I like DC's physical condition. You never know. It could be a sharp move to get people off guard a little bit. It's like Mangone and Uncle T. I said Uncle T. I might slip in a little 2-unit back on Mangone the other way after seeing Uncle T last night. So who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Listen. That Big T's post. Backing Dunkel, it is inspiring me. I am headed to the local rec center after lock.
Is Mangone going with you?
No, Mangone won't be there. But yeah, we'll shoot some hoops for a couple hours. We'll see if I can
make Mangone there. We got to get our horses in line.
Where's the location? I could be there in an hour. I bet. Right?
Yeah, we need Mangone. I need DC verification on Mangone's game.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll send you the location.
If you send me the location, if I got this is going to be a long night. I'm going to tell you that DFS wise. So lock is not.
Oh, you're already making excuses. You got to get there. I want to go,
but I can't leave my computer.
Bring the laptop. You play in between the mixtures. Get a little one-on-one. Get DC ready.
Well, here's a nice shameless plug. I do have the bet show right at 7:00 Eastern, so I have to go on that first. I got to talk with Uncle T.
No,
Allie.
He's not coming, DC.
Send me the address. I'll do my best to get there. But again, I have other obligations. But again, I got to do the bets show with the people. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
If you guys were to match up tonight, Mangone, what's the spread? You and DC.
I don't know. I don't know what DC's game is. I mean, yes, he did get blocked by a dude in cargo shorts, but I also fell running in a hallway. I mean, there's a lot of rough videos out there.
DC, what's the number? If he shows up tonight to 21, same rules, 3 dribble, how many are you giving him?
15.
It's gonna be 15.
I
I might
like
have
it.
to show up. I might have to just bring the laptop.
I might be on DC's side too. I don't know. He can move a little. I don't know.
I don't think. I think it's going to be harder to score on me than people think. I'll say that much.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're definitely.
Man, going.
You're gonna. I'm excited to see you and Dunkel really go up against each other because you got that cardio too. I mean,
I think there's going to be some banging down low between me and Dunkel, backing your way to the hoop. It's going to be a fun time.
So that's what we got to discuss though about the auxiliary matches. Like, is it all the same rules? The 3 dribble? Like, what's the rule set?
I mean,
I'm not in a 3 dribble rule with Rubio. We've talked.
Oh, so none of you guys are doing 3 dribbles?
I know me and Rubio are not.
I'm good with 3 dribble. I'm good with more than that too. Honestly,
it's going to be so much worse of a quality without the 3 dribble. Like, we're going to have fat dudes like backing each other down.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be so much worse quality.
What about like 5 dribbles? Nothing crazy, but just a little
some
more.
sort of thing where you can't just literally back the other person down.
Oh, yeah.
5 is way better. I don't think 3 is enough. I think 3 is like a problem.
Yeah.
Just from like working on it a little bit since the last encounter when Title embarrassed, 3 is plenty. Like, if you make a move, you're gonna make your move in 3, or you're not gonna make it anyways.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've never.
I think DC can get any shot he wants off Dunkel in 3 dribbles. Doesn't mean he'll make it or miss it, but I think you can get whatever in 3 or 5.
Yeah, a layup.
Like,
it's gonna be
Uncle T's definitely just
going
to try to back Mangone down.
No.
What did you say, Tony?
Oh, Uncle T's definitely going to just try to back him down.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna
I want to see that. I want to see Uncle T's sweaty ass back in Mangone.
I can't wait.
That game is also going to be like, that's not a premier game. That's like in Big T's backyard game.
The backyard games are going to be the best ones because you get called out and you go right back to the slab, and that's where the real encounters take place.
Yeah, I mean, Snyder's offering to give me 11. I know that he's making fun of me.
DC just gave you 15. He upped the ante.
I know. I might have to make a trip tonight over to DC's. How far is the ride from me, DC? Do you know?
No, not far.
That's a way. Oh, from me or from you?
How far is it from me to you?
Oh, I don't know. 45 minutes to an hour, probably.
Where are we hooping at, DC? What are we doing?
It's in Thornton. It's just like the Trail Winds Rec Center is where I'm going to go. It's only open till 9 though, so I do got to say that.
But 9 is 11 Eastern. So those lock times, I might be able to make it there towards.
Or we can play this weekend. It's all good. I'm going to be there every day until.
Oh, you start saying stuff like that now. Whoo, Dunkel, I might be jumping ship in a hurry. DC's hooping all weekend. I know Dunkel's not hooping all weekend.
Listen, man, I'm running 2 hours a day. Now I'm just playing basketball 2 hours a day.
I knew about the running, but I wanted to hear about the basketball before I got the wager in.
Well, start now. You lit a fire under my ass with that.
I actually think, I mean, if you're in the gym all weekend, I'm taking DC. I flipped Dunkel. Dunkel's not watching right now, but Mangone will tell him on the bet show that I'm flipping. If DC's hooping all weekend.
Oh, yeah. I'm literally gonna hoop every day till coming out to your party. So
I'll definitely let him know. Tony, let the backers know. I mean, I had someone. So yesterday on the show, people always talk in the chat and say I'm bad and terrible, and then I ask them to slide in the DMs and they never slide in. But someone slid in and said Big T versus Title. He wanted to bet me. Not myself. He wanted to bet on Title over Big T. So tell the people why they should back Tony and not Title.
I truly believe that he is going to get blown out. Like, I don't see how he's going to stop me. Granted, I'm going to have to stop him too. I mean, it's not going to be a long game like some of the other games. It'll be a quick game because I'm going to score on him for sure. If he hits that step back, he's going to have a chance. I'm always honest. If he misses the step back, he's going to get totally blown out. I think he's going to get blown out though. I need to get off to a quick start. Last time I started slow, I was dead tired. Not going to be dead tired this time. That'll be the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be off the bender. Everyone forgets last year. What was it? It was you had the Millie Maker.
I love that people saw it that way, though. Like, I hadn't played in 8 months off of week-long Millie Bender. Yeah, I mean, he got me. He's better than I thought, too. I'll admit it.
When are these games going down? What day?
Wednesday night, the featured ones. right out of the gate, because he's not getting me on Monday after the whole March Madness weekend again either.
That's what I'm saying. I'm probably
Yeah.
Dunk will be getting after it too. So I guess
yeah. Dunk will be getting it. Dunk will comes in earlier than you guys too, so he's got a day of drinking.
I so much for getting drunk at the airport on the way out there. If we got to play the games Wednesday night, I'll have to.
We got the rest of the weekend to drink. You got to stay clean on Wednesday.
Oh, I will now. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yep, Wednesday night should be them. I'm curious. That DFS looks like a disaster. I might take off a DFS that night.
Yeah, take one day off for the featured matchups, or play one team. Just play one. It's always easy to play one.
One team, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to go about it for sure.
Just go with the.
Blake Hagee says, "What's the line, Big T?" There's no line. I don't need points. Everybody wants to say all these odds and stuff. I'm better than Titletown. It's that simple. I don't need points.
There you go. Well, Tony is ready. He is definitely going to do what he can to take down Titletown. That's gonna be a fun game to watch. Do we have any bets on the Hoop? Is Hoop actually gonna play Big T?
He's locked in. If he doesn't freaking play, we're all giving him shit.
Okay, yeah, and that's gonna be in the backyard, right? Where you just can't escape it. So obviously,
that's a backyard game. That's a perfect backyard game too. Hoop and JSU. They're gonna be banging on.
Are we going to the gym for ours?
Yeah, Wednesday night's the gym night. We can get the gym another night, but Wednesday night's the only night for sure gym time.
Got it.
Yeah.
For sure. So that'll be Wednesday night. If you want to watch that, we will have a stream up somewhere. Don't worry, it'll be in the Discord chat. We'll tweet it out as well.
After the matchups, we can get little threes or something. I'm trying to think of who will be there. I think we'll have some other people watching too, but we get some threes or four. What are the odds Big T pukes? There's zero chance I puke this year. I've been playing. Yeah. Last year here, on the other hand, I was close to puking. I'll admit it. I was definitely close to puking.
I got the up close and personal look because I was there. And when
it was awful. You don't need an up close. I'll admit it. I was terrible. It was 4-0, and I said, I'm done. It was 4-0.
No, you didn't say you were done. You said, I feel like Mangone. I feel like I'm going to pass out.
That meant I was done.
Yes.
Listen, Big T, we got redemption season coming up, man. We both have embarrassing basketball videos out there.
I'm back on you now. We're riding together, arm in arm.
Yeah, we got
Uncle, you are going down, big boy.
We got to right the wrongs of the past and put on a show. So it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, we're back arm in arm.
I want to get redemption as well.
Maybe it'll be us three versus who are our competitors? Rubio, Hoop, or Rubio, Dunkel, and Title. Maybe we'll call them out a little threes action. Where are you guys at? A little 3-on-3 after the one-on-one.
I'll play that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. That'd be a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to take that one down. I don't think Hoop gets in till Friday, I saw. So that might have to be a Friday on the slab.
No, Hoop's not in that one.
What?
All our matchups are there Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we could just
threes.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. That'll be good times for sure. Definitely, be checking out.
We'd be just a massive favorite in that one.
Would we be? Who is it?
Massive favorite. Us three versus those three.
Yeah,
I feel like
there's no three dribbling threes. We'll go to the post on their asses.
Yeah, that's true. We'll hit Tony in the post.
Well, the post is the cheat code. Like Title can hide behind some stuff.
We'll get Rubio to switch on to T with the scheme.
All we'll do literally is set that high screen, and what in the world are they going to do to defend that?
Yeah. That'll be good.
I mean, we're like minus 300 versus them 3-on-3.
They're gonna have to try and put
what are they gonna do with the post? And you guys are both quick enough to move off that screen. Oh, it'd get ugly.
They would try and do like a zone maybe, but
they definitely don't want that smoke. I'll throw that out there. They definitely don't want us in threes.
Well, we'll have to see. You never know. Rubio, he has a mouth. Dunkel, I don't think he'll back down. In Title,
Dunkel and Title definitely won't back down. That's why I'm calling them out, because they'll just say yes.
We'll have to see. Hopefully they talk about it here. Maybe someone slides in, or maybe I can get Dunkel on the bet show. I can talk him.
Yeah, tell Dunkel, instigate him. Tell him we want the smoke.
For sure. I'll let him know at 7:00. So check it out on the Run Pure Bets YouTube channel. That's enough with that, though. We did that for 15 minutes. We have a big slate. We got 13 games. But the thing is that's nice about 13 games, guys, is like you can kind of breeze through some games really easily. You can just cross some out. So we'll definitely shorten it, I'm sure. That's what we do over here at Run Pure Sports. Like you said in golf, Tony, like we don't play 100 golfers. We play like 33. And before I kind of dive in, tell the people you're going to be doing the golf show tonight, premium show. So tell the people a little bit about that, because this is the tournament where you won $1 million at.
Yeah, I got to defend the title. I always like golf, but especially the players after last year. We got a bunch of things going on too. We got the articles up on the site for golf. I know Big Rob did a good one. Coop's got one up. We got the playbook, the cash chart, and the show tonight. They did a show last night too for free. Those of you that want to see a free one on the YouTube. Tonight we got the premium. I'm not sure everyone that's hopping on, but our normal crew, Uncle T, Tambo, myself, we got to get JSU on too, just because last year we had that Millie Mojo going on the Wednesday night. Going to be drinking again, like always on the Wednesday show, and we're going to pick some winner. Big week. I mean, we got the NBA final, a couple of us this weekend, and the players. So, and a weather edge. We got to talk about some weather in the golf too this week. So, yeah, we got the promo code right now, players 33% off your first payment, and great time to sign up because we got all kinds of stuff coming the next couple of weeks.
Yep, tons of stuff over here at Run Pure Sports, so check that out. Also, want to say, guys, like and subscribe to the video. Hit that red subscribe button. That way you can check out all the content that we have over here at Run Pure Sports. Also want to mention the Members Never Win segment. We had a bunch of nice golf hits recently. John Galt, he won a golf Q. We have AP, he won $50K in PGA. That was 2 weeks ago. He had Sepp Straka as his workbench play of the week. Then we had AJG 12991, 100K in PGA, JN Gingery 912, 275K in PGA, and then MMA. We had an 8K win from Pascal Pumpu, and we had the man won 100K in NBA. That was not too long ago. I remember him in the Discord chat. We were celebrating that, rooting that home late. So congrats to you guys on winning over there. So if you want to kind of subscribe to Run Pure Sports, see what we're all about, head on over to our site and sign up now and get in the Discord chat. It's an awesome time. But let's dive in and talk about this slate. First game up, Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons. And DC, I'll go right to you. 7 o'clock game. We got two 7 o'clocks to 7:30, and then a lot of games that kind of start at that 8 o'clock window. So Bulls and Pistons, yes, there is some news. Like I know Vucevic, he possibly could be out. So Tristan Thompson is someone that's popped recently. And then you can obviously make arguments for guys like DeRozan get a bump, Levine get a bump. There's some stuff to like here because it is against the Pistons, right? The Pistons are a team that you can attack. But like, do you want to lock yourself into these guys with some news kind of coming later on? What's your thoughts here on this Bulls and Pistons game, DC?
Just from a strategy standpoint, it's okay to play studs early if you like the spot and then kind of fill in around the value later, right? It's really the marginal value that on a big slate like this one that you don't want to lock in early. So I have no problem. Listen, this is if Vucevic sits, right? If Vuce plays, I'm probably not going to play anybody in this game. I don't think I'm going to play any Pistons regardless. But if Vooch does sit, DeRozan is in particular, and then I think Levine, you could look to him as well. But yeah, DeRozan would be the guy that I would play. I think he's got a real good shot at a triple-double type performance if Vucevic is out. You almost saw it last game. So he would be the one. But like you said, overall, probably a game you're not going to want to have too much exposure to.
Yep. Big T, I'll go over to you. You sometimes like to go out in front and just tell people to catch you. Is this a game you're going to go out front and just say, okay, give me Cade Cunningham, DeRozan, and like a Tristan Thompson and just like see if people can catch up to you? What are you doing here on this 13-game slate, Big T?
I mean, first of all, I hate these huge slates. Like there's just too many freaking games, especially with the info. I mean, if you get a couple guys out, like there's just too many good plays. And I never have my best success, just full disclosure, on these huge ones. I'm way better on short slates. But I don't know. I'm kind of with you guys. The one guy that sticks out a little bit to me is Bagley, but his minutes are so up and down. He looks a lot better in Detroit. He got 36 minutes last game. I mean, if he somehow catches that extended run, I think he's got a ton of upside at 5K. But he could also go back and play 25 minutes and not hit that. So I don't know if I'm going to put him in just because the slate's huge, but that price tag does stick out to me at 5K, especially against Chicago. If Vooch sits, they don't have a ton inside to block. I mean, Tristan Thompson will just get abused. I'm interested. I want to see the Vooch news, which obviously we'll get before the slate, which is nice. So not the best game though. I agree with you guys.
Yeah, and Big T, I must admit, I definitely missed this. What happened? Carson Wentz got traded to the football team.
God, so many people tag me. It's hilarious.
Oh, do you have any?
Another MVP bet? Like, come on, people.
I mean, I didn't even realize that happened. It was
funny though that to Washington. I mean, God, it's going to be a total death there. Not that he's already in the grave, but now it's going to be even more of a grave in Washington.
He's not climbing out of that one.
No.
Why did the Colts do that? What was the reasoning? Like, who's their?
They
I just don't think
contract.
they liked him. I mean,
no, but who's their quarterback now? I guess is what they're. I guess maybe.
I don't think they really care. I don't know. They just Wentz just. Well, I mean, he was just never fit in.
Yeah, that's I didn't know that, and I figured with you on the show we had to talk about it for sure. So that's very interesting. I agree. We talked about Bagley a little bit. Bagley is definitely going to be an option that, like, hey, if you tell me he gets to 36, like, I would just put him on.
He'd be like a lock if we knew it, though.
Yeah, you just don't know, right? So that's something you have to embrace a little bit. So it just depends if you want to do that.
Why did he get? We need K-Falik, because why did he get like that much more run than he's been getting?
I think Stewart got hurt or was
Stewart
out.
got hurt, right? And then what happens is, look at their bench. So their bench is Killian Hayes, Kelly Olynyk, Hamidou Diallo, Magruder, Livers, Lee, and Garza. And they never give Garza the run. And on top of that, Kelly Olynyk never gets a lot of run also. So it's like, it does feel like
they got two dudes that can't guard anybody, Kelly O and Garza.
Yeah, and it does feel like Bagley's minutes are going to kind of be like, I'm not saying they're.
Yeah, I think Bagley's a play. You just talked me into it because Isaiah Stewart's still out, right?
Yeah, Stewart.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he get like? I mean, he might not get 36 again, but why wouldn't he get like in the 30s?
I think there's routes where like foul trouble, right? And then like if it blows out, like that's how it kind of happens. I
like him a lot better against Thompson than I do against Vooch, though.
No, I agree with that for sure. Yeah. We want Vooch out.
You can play him either way. I agree. I missed it on Bagley, but I think he's a good play. But a better play against Thompson, right? Like, especially because if Thompson gets in foul trouble, then behind him it's just absolutely nothing, and Bagley could do his thing. Vooch is actually a pretty good defender, despite not having like super great defensive stats. Just a really smart player that I think would. Yeah. He's the better player by far in that 1v1 matchup, which always concerns me a little bit.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on. We don't got too much else to say. Like DeRozan, I should call it out. Like 9-8, if you want to make him as a spend up, not a terrible idea. Kind of what DC said earlier. Like you can always put in like some of these studs earlier if you want to, and then mix out values throughout.
Those are always the plays too. Like they're not going to pop in the optimizers. They're probably not great plays, but the minute they go off, you can win a tournament. Those are definitely tournaments.
It's fun to start with like a 6% owned DeRozan, and you get off to a good start. And you have so much flexibility, right? Because he's taken a chunk of salary. Now you just need to kind of fill in the value and get one more stud, right? So it can be a fun way to do it.
Also,
like when he gets you like a 60 piece right out of the gate at 6%, like then you can just jam all the chalk too, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And on the flip side, let's say he gets 45, which you're not happy with, but it's not like the end of the world. Like then maybe you mix in like a 2% guy out of nowhere that like hits 50 and like saves your night, right? Like those are routes you can take on these really big slates. So just kind of depends. Let's move on over to the next game. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets, which it's a second night of a back-to-back for the Hornets. Celtics have been playing great defense. They're 7.5-point road favorites. I don't see myself playing anyone in this game. This feels like a great fade. Big T, we'll go to you. Are you fading this one?
Yeah, this one looks like a definite fade for me. Boston's been dialed in a little bit getting into the playoff season here. They look good. I don't think they're going to win the East or anything, but I don't think anyone wants to play them either because they just play good defense, solid basketball. Tatum's looked incredible lately, but we're talking DFS, and I mean none of these prices stick off the page at all to me. The Charlotte matchup's a good matchup, but I mean, there's just not that much upside, especially when it's the first game on a 13-game slate. I'm off this game.
Yep, I'm with you on that. I don't want to play this game. DC, we'll go over to you. Thoughts on this game? Are you playing people? Are you fading them? What are you doing?
Total fade. I don't play much against Boston these days. Like Big T said, they're coming on strong, especially defensively. I mean, look at the pieces they have on defense. Smart. Derek White, they traded for him. He's a good defender. Jaylen Brown, a lockdown wing defender. Tatum's good. Horford and Williams inside. Like, man, there's like getting rid of Schroeder and bringing in Derek White just kind of bolstered it. And no, I'm not playing Charlotte against this team. I think Boston probably kind of chokes them in this game coming off a back-to-back and for Charlotte. So, yeah, nothing for me here.
Yep, with you on that. Agree with you guys there. Definitely a good one to stay away from. Let's go over to the next one. We got the Suns and the Heat. This game starts at 7:30, so this is like a 30-minute buffer here where, again, like you can easily fade the first two games. and then kind of come back and start looking at this one. Obviously, the Suns have been a team that we've been playing as of late, but Devin Booker, I believe he's going to be back for this one. So that could muddy some stuff up. Prices have increased. And then you got Jimmy Butler, who is questionable for this game, which that's obviously big news. DC, let's go over to you. What are you doing with the Jimmy Butler news here against the Suns?
Yeah, obviously that impacts a lot. If he is out, you would go to, you could go to Lowry and Tyler Hero, right? Would be the first two guys that I would look at. I still don't think they're that good of plays. Hero's price tag is up a little bit, and he disappoints fairly often. So I don't think you would have to go there, but certainly they would be options if Butler sits. The Suns getting Booker back, it'll be interesting to see what they do, because I mean, Cam Payne, like, he's certainly playing a lot like Chris Paul. If you look at the numbers he's putting up, the team's still performing, massive assist numbers. I know Booker's coming back, but to me, this looks almost like a situation where it's like, well, would you play CP3 here at 6,500? Because I don't think anybody's going to play Cam Payne now, right? That Booker's back. And I know Booker's going to take the lead role, but I think Cam Payne is just basically just going to play the way CP3 did, which would have made him a really strong play here. So we haven't seen Cam Payne in this role with Booker yet, but I think Cam Payne's still going to be a very significant part of the offense, still going to play big minutes, I think. So I'm a little bit tempted to stick with it, depending on ownership, right? But I think it's just going to fall from like 93% yesterday to like 6% today or something crazy like that with Booker back.
Yeah, he definitely gonna have no ownership. I don't think Big T is gonna be on Payne here. I'm curious to get his thoughts on that. And then like Devin Booker at 8.8, like Devin Booker's price tag does feel kind of cheap for this role. Matchup is Miami though, and that's not really a matchup I think we typically target. So sure. Big T, is this a game you're kind of fading and waiting for these 8 o'clock games? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, with only the 2 7 o'clocks, 1 7:30, it is a kind of nice just to fade the first 3, wait on a ton more news, and just take your chances that way. That's more than likely what I'll do. But I do like DC's point about Cam Payne, because he's going to be unowned. And I mean, he's looked really good. They still need a point guard. They don't want Booker. They don't want Book point guard in this spot. So I think he's a sneaky play. I kind of like that from DC. That's a sneaky call that could win you a tournament too. And again, like we said with those other 2 games, you play Cam Payne and he gets you a 40 piece in the 40s, which he can. You're unique. You're off to a good start before all the news starts hitting. You always can use a 6,500 guy too. Like, it doesn't really affect your roster all that much. You can still do whatever you want. So I like that. I think definitely the preferred route for me is just to wait till 8. But I don't know. I might build one team where I got a few of these early pieces and throw Cam Payne in there. Just have a different construction. And then who knows? Maybe the news, maybe there's not as much news. You never know what's going to happen in the freaking NBA. So I do like that point from DC.
Yeah, you definitely don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that one day everyone thought LeBron was going to play and then he didn't. So it just can always change. But this is not a game I'm like too excited about. Of the 3 games that we just talked about, I think Bagley is my favorite of all the plays. Would you guys agree on that? Is Bagley your favorite play from like the first 3 games?
As long as Vooch is out, like we said, he will be my favorite for sure.
Yeah, he and Cam Payne for me.
All right, cool. Let's go over to the
Miami's like a really easy fade too, just to finish this game.
Yeah, unless Butler ends up being out, right? If Butler's out, that can change stuff.
Even if he's out on this big of a slate, I'm not going to go there, but I could see going there if Butler's out going to. But I mean, with Oladipo back, I think it clouds it a little more than people think. I kind of hope Butler's out just so people do play pieces from this game. I mean, you got all these wing defenders still from Phoenix. I don't think Miami's that good of plays, even if he's out. So I hope he's out. Make people play him.
That certainly could happen. Let's move on over to this Lakers and Rockets game. Before we do that, though, guys, please hit the like, subscribe to the video. We got 350 watching, 118 likes. So we got to get those up, and then we'll pick a number to give out those plays of the day. But let's move on and talk about this Lakers and Rockets game, because Christian Wood, he could easily sit in this game. And if Christian Wood does sit, we also have Jayshawn Tate, questionable. We have Dennis Schroeder, questionable. LeBron James, he's questionable. That's some pretty big news. I assume LeBron comes back and plays in this game. If he doesn't, then obviously that's going to change some stuff up. Russell Westbrook is interesting at that price tag. Man, like I have not been wanting to play Westbrook. I've played him a little bit in these spots, but man, like the Rockets are one of those spots where like you just assume he's going to do really well. It's the Rockets. They're just terrible. How could you not do well? But he is Russell Westbrook, even though his wife doesn't like people calling him that. Russell Westbrook will probably get the job done here. And then you guys got like Sengun. Sengun would be an absolutely amazing play if Christian Wood happens to be out. I know, DC, you're shaking your head. You're going to play a lot of Sengun. You played a lot of Sengun the other day when Wood was out. And also KPJ, if there's no Schroeder, KPJ is going to run this offense. And K Fallick has been pretty on top of these Rockets. I assume K Fallick will have those guys in his core. And like, I assume you'll be all over them too, DC. So what's your thoughts on this Rockets and Lakers game?
Yeah, I think Sengun, if he gets the start with Wood out, he will get the start if Wood is out. Yeah, great play. 5,100 on DraftKings. I think, yeah, he's got a good shot. I mean, we've seen big games out of him, right? 40 plus a few times at least, and not that many opportunities to do it. So certainly capable. Matchups fantastic. Yeah, I'd play him both DraftKings and FanDuel. I think he's a really, really good option. And yeah, if Schroeder sits, Kevin Porter Jr., they've kind of handed him the keys whenever Schroeder is out, and he's generally performed. You throw in a great matchup against the Lakers. I like that pairing, Sengun, Kevin Porter. I think they can absolutely have chemistry where they're, Porter assisting Sengun on threes, that type of thing. So I like that. The Lakers side, I mean, if LeBron plays, which I'm with you, I think he probably will. I think he's pretty damn good play, right? Coming out of a game of rest against the Rockets. Like, you would think he would right the ship at that point. If he's out, if he's in, I think LeBron is the play. I wouldn't really play anybody else, most likely. And if he's out, yeah, I mean, I'm not paying 8,500 for Westbrook on DraftKings, even against the Rockets, but I get if people want to do it. Monk, I think, he was pretty good in that game. Like he would become an option. So some places to look if LeBron is out, but I expect him to play. If he does, I think, if he fits your lineup, go ahead. He's expensive, but can't get any better matchup, right? And the Lakers need to win. So I think LeBron will be in there and probably have a big game.
Yeah, Big T, will you be playing some LeBron James tonight? I mean, LeBron is definitely in the conversation if he happens to start, like, especially if it's at the 5, and like, there's some good options on the other side if people sit, right? If Christian Wood's out, Sengun's a good play. If Schroeder's out, I think Kevin Porter Jr. is in play. So there's a lot to like in this game. And if you wait on this news, you can definitely get rewarded for it. So what do you want to do here with these Rockets and the Lakers?
Yeah, I made fun of K Fallick the other day because I hated the Houston spot. And I've been on Houston with them the whole time too. Terrible spot the other night. It cost them big. But tonight they play the Lakers, the biggest disaster in basketball. And I love Houston. I mean, Jalen Green, you guys didn't talk much about him. I think he is peaking right now. I love him. I love KPJ. I don't think they play Schroeder just because they want to see these younger guys. I hope Wood sits too, so we can play Sengun. Like if Wood sits, I'm gonna play these three. I'm going to play Sengun, Jalen Green, and KP. Oh, unless Schroeder's in. If Schroeder and Wood are out, these might be my 3 favorite plays of the whole slate: KPJ, Jalen Green, Sengun. Which means I want to run back, which I think LeBron's one of the best spend ups on the slate, assuming he plays. So that's got a good chance to be core plays for me tonight. I mean, LBJ with the 2 or 3 Rockets. I love these Rockets tonight. I friggin' love Jalen Green tonight against the Lakers. And KPJ, we just need Schroeder. Schroeder, I want out more than Wood. If Wood plays, I don't really have to play Sengun. I'll still play the 2 guards. But I don't know. I really like this game.
Schroeder ruins it if he's in there.
He ruins it completely. I don't want Schroeder. Even if it's just to play 23 minutes or something, you're still – I mean, if Schroeder's out, these guards are going to play 40 minutes, and they're going to crush versus the Lakers too. I absolutely love them. So I hope Schroeder sits. I hope Wood sits, but it won't hurt us that bad if Wood's in. And then LeBron. If somehow LeBron's out, I faded Westbrook completely the other night. I think I will play him tonight, though, at 8,500, just because it's against Houston and just because of how much I like the Houston guys.
I don't know. LeBron's going to play.
I think he's going to play, too. And I think LeBron is the best spend on the slate if he's in there. I think he'll crush Houston. We think the Lakers are dead. LeBron probably knows the Lakers are dead, but he's going to turn it up a little bit. He's going to at least try to make a little push for him. So I like this game a lot, though.
Yeah, LeBron.
It says LBJ's in, so they announced it.
Yeah, it's announced.
Okay,
so
cool.
Definitely like LeBron.
So I love LBJ then. Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. I like LeBron here a lot in this spot. And they're on the road where I think that's good for Houston, right? To be able to keep the game close. I mean, the Lakers are terrible too.
Houston's going to win.
I don't disagree that Houston could win.
Like, the Lakers suck.
I worry, Tony, sometimes people worry about like with teams like Houston and OKC, they worry about them keeping it close. One of the keys is when the game does stay close, right? When it does, it just goes crazy. So like, that's why I want to make sure, like, that's why I like that they're home, right? Like I like when those things are playing in the favor. When I see these teams like OKC and the Rockets, I kind of want them at home, or like I want like, you know, things to just be going.
Or just playing the Lakers who suck ass.
Yeah, that helps. Helps a lot too. So and anyways, the other thing that's nice too is let's say the game does blow out. Let's say the Lakers somehow won by 20. If they did win by 20, Jalen Green and KPJ are still going to get run. They're not just going to get benched. Like it's simple. So
and it's tournaments anyways. Like if it blows out and we lose, we always say it at Rum Pure. Like there's always tomorrow. Like you just go with your dudes. You can't control blowouts. If it blows out, Houston could blow the Lakers out. Like it could go the other way. I wouldn't be surprised. The Lakers are a disaster right now. So
I really like it. Worrying about the downside of your play in large field GPPs just doesn't make any sense. You got to make a team that if things go right, you'll have a chance.
Yep, agreed.
No, that's like the old school thinking, right? Like that when we all started playing DFS, however long ago, it was always more about floor, and now it's more about. I think that's one of the big holes I've plugged in myself over the last couple of years. I always used to chase. I still like floor. Don't get me wrong. We all like floor, but I chase ceiling way more. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Who cares if you're wrong?
Yeah, we just got news. Killian Hayes is out. That's nothing too massive. But to go back to your point on that, the one thing I really like is like when I can have a spot where I feel good about the ceiling and I feel good about like the floor as well. Like it's like people are like will say to themselves, "Oh, the blowout's an issue," and it's like we're like, "Oh, Houston's terrible." Doesn't matter. You're still going to get that run. I like the spots where I know my guys are going to get the runs. Like on the shorter slates, one good example I like to use is the Utah Jazz. Sometimes I just like to play Donovan Mitchell if it's like a 1v1, like one guard versus another, because I actually feel better about Donovan Mitchell getting his full rotation, unlike some other studs. So those are like little things that I look for here and there. And I'm not worried about that with the Houston Rockets. I hope these guys sit that way. Just kind of.
I was going to say to compound on your point, even I think KPJ and Jalen Green are a perfect example of floor and ceiling guys. Yep. I feel great about their floor, as crazy as it sounds. I do. I think their floor is safe. I mean, they could get like 25. I think that's a good floor, though. And their ceiling is in the 40s, maybe even 50s.
Yep. I'm with you on that. We obviously would want Schroeder to be out. And also, Tate is questionable, too, right? So, like, Tate being questionable, that can help some other guys out. Even Eric Gordon could kind of be interesting at 4-3. So, yeah, there's
God, don't play his ass.
I mean, if Tate's out, I guess it could. I mean,
they just don't give him any sort of like.
He played 31 and 30 minutes the last two games, so
I guarantee he didn't do nothing with it. How many fantasy points?
He had not a lot. Yeah, he didn't do much with it.
21. I played him 1 week about 3 weeks ago, and I just wanted to puke all night. It was just an awful play by me.
Yeah, I mean,
just play the three Rockets. You don't need any more.
Right.
Just play those three.
Right. It's definitely probably the guys you'd rather go to,
especially on a 13-game slate. Don't play Eric Gordon on a 13-gamer.
100%. You talked about Monk before, DC, and this is obviously an important game. If LeBron's at the 5, I remember when he was at the 5, he was like, Monk was just so much better because he's obviously to be able to go down low and he can facilitate really well. Do you like Monk even on a 13-game slate if LeBron is in there at the 5?
With LeBron in, no. I'm gonna pass on Monk. No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just curious because
what is K-Fal? The Killian Hayes news was big news to him in the chat. He said not small news, but it's fine. How is Killian Hayes big news on a 13-game slate?
Yeah.
What am I missing?
K-Fal, we have 35 minutes to get through 9 games, and you're derailing the chat with Killian Hayes news.
I don't understand. Like, what am I missing? Why is that?
He must play Cade Cunningham, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the only person that really affects. And it doesn't even affect it that much, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't,
Yeah, well,
maybe
see.
It helps Corey Joseph, I guess, but you're not playing him on a 13.
No, it's got to be Cade. Cade has put up, look what Cade's doing. I mean, over 50 FanDuel points in 2 of the last 3.
Yeah, you can always play Cade. He's one of those guys. Like if you told me
Cade's the man. Cade's freaking good.
He has a ton of upside. I get it. It's not, I don't know. But anyways, let's move on.
Cade has the same upside without Killian Hayes, though, is the point.
Agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Phallic wants too much attention. Not today. Not today, Phallic. Okay. No attention to you. We're going to move on.
Especially because he's not coming to the party.
Yeah, I know. He's not happy about it. But we'll talk about the Bucks and the Hawks.
Imagine living like 3 hours from me and not coming to the party on any of the days. I mean, we're there for DC and Mangone are here for like 5 days. And K Phallic can't come any of the 5.
He's got like a party to host one night. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
No, he has.
What about the other 5 days, K Phallic?
Yeah, he has a big 75 person party going on Saturday that he can't.
Like he lives close enough, literally, where he could drive like in the morning one day, and if he had to, even go back that night. Like he doesn't live that far away.
Why isn't I was hoping Holden was going to be on our flight out, Mangone, but I guess not.
No, it doesn't.
Yesterday on the show, he did act like he was circling back and might be back in or something. He was whining about how much the flights cost.
Yeah.
And then Hoop called his bluff and said, well, maybe I'll pay for you. And then he backed up again. Like
he said it was $900 flights, which we booked them recently. I don't think I know there's a lot going on in the world, but I don't think it's $900 right.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go to the next game. Let's talk about the Bucks and the Hawks. And like, yeah, you could always say Giannis is a good play. Like, sure, but I don't see myself really jamming guys in from this game. It's not a game I'm super excited about. Trae Young going against Drew Holiday, that doesn't excite me. Like, this feels like a game. Yeah, if I'm a basketball fan, like just want to watch a game with no money on the line, yeah, this would be a fun game to watch. But from a DFS perspective, I'm not really that interested. Big T, I'll go to you. Any interest in jamming into Giannis or some of these other guys?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. Big slate. You can always play Giannis, every single slate, always in play. I don't think I'll play him tonight because I like LeBron more. I like Jokic more, I guess. I mean, there's dudes I like more at the top. We always take stands. I probably won't play him, but anytime you play him, even Trae Young against Milwaukee, you can play him whenever you want. If I played those guys, I'd probably play them together. But, yeah, I'm off this game.
All right. Well, DC, any interest in this game, or do you want to just move on to the next one?
The plays are kind of obvious. I mean, if Giannis fits, by all means, he crushes every game. It's like 65. It's kind of like a Joker where it's just you kind of know what he's going to do. It doesn't really seem if it's a blowout, he still gets there anyway. It seems like because it's all him that usually does the damage. So, yeah, if Giannis fits, good play. But I'm not super high in this game either.
Let's go to some teams that might be a little short-handed. It's the OKC Thunder. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 10.2K, had a monster game yesterday. Second night of back-to-back for these guys, though. You got Aaron Wiggins, Poku, Baisley, Roby, and then their bench. I mean, it is rough. Theo Maledon, Vic Krejci, Oliver Sarr, and Lindy Waters. Big T, if it was me, you, and DC, you think we could take on like Lindy Waters, Vic Krejci, and Oliver Sarr in a little 3-on-3?
I mean, this is where if I'm joking, I'd say yes, and they suck. Yes. But obviously they're NBA dudes, so they're gonna wipe the floor with us. But depends on how much of a trolling mood I'm in to get people yelling at us.
Yeah, I was looking to bait.
If I should have just gone with it and just been like, yeah, we'd take them, and then watch the chat just all over us about it.
Yeah, the chat would have been like, "There's no way." Like
your point still is the same though. Like these dudes are not good NBA guys. Yeah, I mean. Point being, Sarr's had a couple big games. I like his skill set. It's just crazy how good these Kentucky guys get in the NBA. I mean, SGA looked a little dusty for a while there the last couple of years, and now he's just smashing. I mean, these dudes out of Kentucky, it's crazy. Even Sarr sucked at Kentucky. Watching like 3 years, Sarr will be good again. It's just, I don't know how all these, either Coach Cal doesn't know, he knows how to recruit and doesn't get them playing elite in college, or they just, I don't really get it. But SGA, man, God, he's been crushing. He's just smashing lately. So I think similar to the last game, you can play him whenever. No one's going to really play him tonight, I don't think. I mean, what's his ownership supposed to be, Mangone?
I mean, he was 7% last night, so I'm sure it's not
huge slate like this. I mean, people can't be going 10-2 for him. So
when I did run stuff, he was on a lot of teams. So he actually might be a lot higher on than you think. It's the Timberwolves, and like, the Timberwolves are banged up too. Like, I didn't even mention the injury report on them. Torian Prince questionable, Ann Edwards questionable, Noel probable, Russell questionable, Beverly questionable, and Vanderbilt questionable. A lot of this news, depending on what happens with that, could obviously change the guard position ownership as well, because people could just start going to some spend down guards instead, and then maybe spend on a LeBron or spend on like a Giannis, where like it could just like flip the slate if all these guys got ruled out on the Timberwolves side, because then they'd be really shorthanded. I'm not expecting them all to be out, but that's worth mentioning. Like the ownership of these guys can change throughout the slate based on news. So I do think currently SGA is getting some ownership, but I do
If
think
he's getting ownership, then I definitely don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 233.5 total. Timberwolves are 14.5-point favorites, but they just don't have anyone too, where SGA also has kind of like a nice rotation where I don't worry about him as much. So I should have liked him more yesterday. I was worried about Drew Holiday's defense probably too much, but ultimately it depends how the ownership shakes out. I think that's like the best way to put it. I think you said it really well. What about like the cheap guys? Like, do you like a Poku at 5'8" on this slate?
I'm not going to play on a 13-game slate. I'm not playing these OKC guys. I could play some Minnesota guys if a couple of these dudes end up out. I mean, like you said, they're all questionable. So depending on the lineup we get, I could definitely play some. I did get tilted the other night though, because Cat was just smashing and then just blowout freaking. And then every other stud went off. So if you had Towns, you were just dead because of the blowout. But I don't know. Yeah, we got to wait. It's another reason to wait till 8 for players, because we're going to get some news in a few of these spots. Minnesota's a key one. Like, say all these guys sat somehow, which could happen against OKC at home. These guys are going to have to be good plays. I mean, McDaniels, Naz Reid, Beasley, McLaughlin, all those dudes I think would be pretty good plays if like a bunch of these dudes sat. So we got to wait for news. A couple things in the chat too. I knew someone would make a comment. Anchor gave it to us. You guys get smoked by 100. No fucking shit. Like, they're NBA dudes. Obviously we get smoked by 100. We're freaking sitting here doing a NBA show on a Wednesday at 5:30. Of course we lose by 100.
Yeah.
And then who else says, I want to see Awesemo versus Runs Pure Sports? Like, that would be the same 100-point whooping the other way. We would absolutely wipe the floor with those dudes. So that's cool. And the third point, here we go with the Kentucky truther. There's nothing truther about it. Go down the list. The Kentucky dudes are freaking good. Run the list. There's like 35 of them doing good in the NBA.
Maybe we need a DFS site throwdown like Anchorman, right? Where you show up with a club and brick murders a dude. Awesemo, we got RPS, RG. It could be a good time on the basketball.
I would definitely take our crew like in all sporting events versus any of the other sites.
A DFS site Olympics could be cool.
Yeah,
we can
I would take us for sure.
Yeah, we definitely.
If we had to like make spreadsheets and compete against them and that shit, we'd get wiped in that. But as far as actual athletics, I'll take our chances.
We got Vucevic as a game time decision. Also, DC, one chat comment that caught my eye was, why don't y'all rent a whip and drive RPS road trip? I've done that drive from Big T's to all the way over here. I'm not doing that with Holden. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh,
no. What's your thoughts?
No.
You three driving across the country to my house would be must-see TV.
I get on the plane. I'm getting on the plane if Holden's involved. Let's say that.
Oh man, that's too funny. But we can move on. DC, I got to get your thoughts though. I know it's like not easy to break down, but like, give me some of your thoughts here, how you'd handle these situations between the Thunder and the Timberwolves.
The Thunder's easy. I mean, if you want to play Gilgeous-Alexander, they also lost Trey Mann. I don't know if you missed that. If you mentioned that, I missed it. But like, he is kind of like their only other ball handler. So Giddey out, Dort out. You remove Trey Mann. Now it's just like, man, it was kind of all SGA already. But whatever wasn't him is going to be him now. So I think he's a good play. Tremendous upside. We've seen it time and time again. And he's not quite priced like the other studs. So if he matches, he only has to match those guys, right? At that price point, and you've got a good play in your hands. So I like him some. Again, if Russell misses, Towns, I think becomes just an awesome play. Russell to me is kind of the key to Towns, along with Edwards, who I do kind of expect to sit. And then of course, if all the Minnesota guys somehow sat, which you never know, sometimes we don't expect that, but sometimes it does go down that way. Then you got to look to some of these Minnesota backup guards, guys like Beasley, Noel, McLaughlin to some extent, and all the value would open up. And again, just more reason with so many games, to try not to lock too much in early, because probably there's going to be news that you're going to wish you had spots open to swap to some of these guys.
Yep. More reason to get in the Discord chat to check all that out. It's definitely, the chat's having a great time too. So a lot going on there, but let's move on. Let's talk about the next game. Let's talk about the Magic and the Pelicans, where we got Brandon Ingram won't be in there. We got Tony Snell, JT's boy. He will be in the lineup, which when Tony Snell plays, that's a lot of usage to go for some other people. That's really good for CJ McCollum. It's supposed to be good for Valanciunas, but I don't know what happened to him last night. He was a bit of a disaster, only playing 20.5 minutes. So it was kind of rough for him there.
He's a guy I never think's a good play, like ever. I don't know what it is about it. I just never trust it.
So you don't trust him tonight? I mean, I'm with you. I like CJ McCollum more than Jonas Valanciunas today, but what's your thoughts here on these Pelicans there, Tony? And then also, what are you doing here with the Magic? It doesn't feel like a great slate to be loading in some Magic. I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't like this spot. I mean, you can play McCollum. McCollum's been great since he got there. Team's been good. Yeah, I can't play Joe Val. Center's too good. 13 games late. His projection's decent, but I just don't trust it. He's one of those guys I just never play. I don't know what. I'd rather even play Big Willie behind him at 4K. I'd rather play him than Joe Val. But I don't like this game. I mean, New Orleans is tough, man. They got these wing defense. I mean, Herb Jones can shut anyone down. McCollum's decent defender. I don't know. I don't like this game. What did happen to Jackson Hayes last night? Now that we're looking at it. He got like 3 points. Did he get hurt or something, or he just didn't do anything?
Four fouls in 14 minutes.
Who did they play at the 5? Was it Hernan Gomez most of the time? He played 20.
Yeah. Hernan Gomez got like 28 minutes.
That's weird, but I will say, like, when Willie does like pop off and play better, like sometimes they ride that out. So that is like kind of concerning there for like the front court.
I do wonder. I haven't been on the Valanciunas train either, but it seems like he might be able to bully Mo Bamba down there a little bit, like the stick figure. Like I'm probably not going to play Joe Val either, but I do kind of like that matchup where, you know, Orlando does have 2 bigs that they play most of the time, Bamba and Carter, and I think Joe Val could kind of, you know, have his gladiator way down there with those guys. So from that perspective, it's interesting. I mean, McCollum seems like a right up there with the top play with the studs for me, with Ingram out. You know, like even yesterday, Devontae Graham, I considered him, but he's just not going to take over any of that usage. He's just not that player right now. It's like a lack of confidence. I don't know what it is, but McCollum's not going to cede any of his responsibilities to Devontae Graham. So, like you said, Mangone, Tony Snell in there, Valanciunas not a super offensive center, Herbert Jones not a guy that really creates that much. You're playing with guys like Garrett Temple and like, man, it's all CJ. So I think he's an awesome play here.
Yeah, he ended up being my play of the day yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll go back to him just because he's kind of chalky, but I'll definitely play him today. He probably won't be my play of the day, though. I'll say that. I'm definitely going to be loaded up on CJ. Like him a lot here in this spot. Let's move.
So one sec with Joe Val. So one of the reasons I don't like him, and I've talked about this all year, like some of the projections, I just don't understand how you can project him for 40 or 41 fantasy points when you go to his box scores and he just never gets over that. It's supposed to be like a median projection. I just don't get it. Some of these, like you go all the way down the list, he's got a 13 and then a 40, 11, then a 40, 39, 40, 48, 148 game, 28, 37, 38. So like his ceiling is like his projection. That's why I don't get it, man. You're a projection guy. Like, how can we project a guy that never gets this high for 41 fantasy points? I just don't get it. Explain it to me.
So the problem I noticed when this situation happens is it's not adjusting to what CJ's projection should be, where CJ's projection should probably be higher, where they should lower Valanciunas. Like if I was lowering Valanciunas' projection here, I would also raise CJ's projection. That's
which I think you should do, because you guys both brought good points up. Like CJ's going to crush. So I just read off Joe Val. So now let's do the same thing and look at CJ's. Like I know you can't just be a box score watcher, but it at least shows you something. 58, 46, 40, 45, 47, 53, 52, 57. I mean, all kinds of 50 pieces for CJ. He's still only 8,900. He's 1,500 more than Joe Val. I know they're not the same position, but I mean, his ceiling is literally 30 points higher almost than Joe Val. I just don't. How could you possibly play Joe Val over CJ?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I definitely am CJ over Joe Val for sure.
CJ is going to crush, though. You guys are right about that. I overlooked it a little bit. He is going to crush.
And shooting guard's not great tonight. Like shooting guard really is not a great position. Yes, there's Jalen Green there. Like there are guys. It's a 13-game slate. No position has not a lot of plays, but if there was a position that's kind of weaker, I think shooting guard's got some weaknesses to it. So
talk about again, we don't look at floor that much when we're talking tournament lineups, but CJ just has a massive floor. The minutes are definitely going to be there. He's getting up 20 plus shots. He's going to get 5+ assists for sure. And then he's got the ceiling to put up 40 real points in any game. It just seems there's no free square at 9,000, but man, I'll be really, really surprised if he got fewer than 40 fantasy points. And I think the upside's there as well. Yeah,
we'll have enough value today, so I feel good about.
Dude in the chat too says Graham is a good play. Like, why is Graham a good play? Yeah. Because he can get you 23 fantasy points for 3,900. That's not a good play to me on a 13-game slate. Agreed. When you play a 3,900 guy on this big of a slate, you need 40-point upside. As crazy as that sounds. Upside. I'm not saying that projection, but he never getting you 40 unless CJ gets hurt or something.
Graham is the exact opposite of the type of play that we're talking about, where you got to get guys with upside. Yeah. Graham just doesn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a shorter slate, the issue I have is
completely different.
Graham's not starting too, right? So he naturally misses a ton of minutes to start where that hurts.
Like 23 for 3,900 on a short slate could be awesome.
Yeah. Exactly. That's like Tristan Thompson today. I expect him to, if Vucevic doesn't play, he can get you 23, but I mean, I don't know if I want that on that slate. I mean, it's a little tougher. So let's talk about the Raptors and Spurs though. Raptors are a team that I know a bunch of us have played, but Van Vliet looks like he's going to be back. DeJounte Murray, he's 11-3, which is getting to be a heftier tag, but he does have the ceiling to have a massive game and it's a close spread. DC, let's go over to you. Any interest in some Raptors or Spurs tonight?
Probably not on the Raptors side with Van Vliet back. Sounds like just pretty easy fade on this big of a slate to me. Obviously, news could change, but as of now, likely not going there. And then kind of similar, honestly, on the Spurs side, outside of DeJounte Murray, the Spurs, they're getting Vassell and Walker back, so that pretty much removes any of the the cheap guys out on the wing that you might play for the Spurs with those two guys in there. Spurs are kind of a one-man team right now, right? You play DeJounte Murray or not. Kind of a little bit like the Nuggets are like that. The Lakers are kind of like that for me, where it's the stud, you can play him anytime. He's just going to crush usually, but I don't necessarily think the Raptors are the exact matchup that I want to play Murray over some of these other guys on a huge slate. So probably a full fade here for me.
Kevin said, by the way, Tony, I'm sorry, but if 3.9K guy gets me 33, I'm satisfied. No one said 33.
Well, where are we getting the 33 from?
Yeah, we said 23, Kevin. So you're
absolutely 33 is good. I'll take 33.
That's all good. Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole different ball game. 23 or 33.
Yeah,
we'd all play him if he gets 33. Absolutely.
33, I would sign up for sure. 23 and 33 are different.
How the hell is he going to get 33, Kevin?
Hey, I'm just saying what he said, but let's talk about the Spurs and the Raptors. Tony, we'll go over to you about this one because I don't think it's a game I'm gonna load up on, but there are studs like Murray. I could easily talk into playing, but I just don't want to load up on these values here. What are you doing with this game?
Yeah, with Van Vliet back, you guys kind of talked about it, but these prices are up because some of these guys were playing a lot of games shorthanded. I mean, you're talking Pascal's too expensive, Barnes too expensive. They're all too expensive. Every guy on the Raptors. I've been on them all year because of the minutes, but these prices are too high right this second. Not going to go there for sure. And then the Spurs, like DC said, one-man band right now, especially when you're talking about Podol being 8K. These guys are just too expensive, the other pieces of this game. You can always play DeJounte. I put him in that bucket, like we've said with all these stars. I'm not going to play him tonight because I don't love this game and I like the other stars more. But if you play DeJounte, I'm never going to say it's a bad play because he can get you 70 any night. So for me, I'm off this game.
Yeah, and Tony, Kevin is saying his comment was you said he needed 40-point upside. The key word there, Kevin, is upside. Yeah. We didn't say that.
And don't be nitpicking the point thing. Yeah. Obviously, if he gets 33, we're happy. Yes. If we get 23, we're dead, though.
Yeah, 23 is not as great for sure on this slate. Would you be I wouldn't be oh, that's
Well, you're not saying you can't profit, but you're going to have a hard time shipping, I think. I mean, depending on how the slate ends up.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on over and talk about this Knicks and Mavericks game. Obviously, Luka, he's in play almost any day. He's a stud that can get the job done. Similar to like Murray, like I said before. I don't mind Luka in this spot. And then also, as like a run back, it's a hefty tag, but RJ Barrett at 8-2 has been really solid. I played him the other day. I don't know if I'll for sure go back. It's a big slate, so probably tougher for me to pull the trigger on that. But 216.5 total, also kind of a low total here. Big T, we'll go over to you. Any interest in Luka and some of these other options on Dallas or the Knicks?
Yeah, I mean, Luka just keeps friggin' nuking. I mean, him and how good are the stars right now in the NBA? I mean, Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. I mean, these dudes are just smashing. Luka keeps being lower owned than I think, too. 76 and 72 the last two games. Versus Utah and Golden State, I might add, too. Two of the better teams. I mean, any slate, I'm never going to say not to play Luka. The dude is incredible right now. You just have to always decide on these studs. Which ones are you going to play? Because they're all on the slate. Yeah, he'll be in my player pool without a doubt. The upside, like the problem with fading guys like this is when they do get the 76 like last game, and we play Cat and he gets 50 because of the blowout, you're just stone dead because so many people have the other studs that are lapping you by 26 freaking points. So yeah, I'm with Luka. The Knicks side, I don't really see it all that much tonight. What happened to Dinwiddie the other night? I was talking a lot of trash about him. He did get 32, so no victory laps either way. I was talking some shit about that price tag, 32. Yep, I will call that a draw. Whoever I was talking trash to. The Knicks side, let's see what prices do we got. Randall's 10K. Yeah, I'm off the Knicks. Luka only for me in this game.
All right, DC, we'll go over to you. Any interest in Luka here or even in RJ Barrett on the other side? Definitely some plays that have been playing pretty well as of late, but do they fit you on a 13-game slate?
Probably not. This game going to be mostly a fade for me. Even Luka, I've been off him. I'm going to be off him when Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson are both in the lineup for the most part. Last game, Brunson was out. I was on him then, on him last game, and obviously crushed. I think that's going to make a big difference. Brunson back tonight, so I'll fade at the high price tag and with plenty of studs to choose from. I'll take guys like Giannis and LeBron over Luka. Obviously, a fine play, but just not the direction I'm leaning. And other than that, I don't really see a lot to like here. I haven't been on the RJ Barrett train, so I've kind of missed out on that. And it certainly feels like one where you jump on and you're too late, and then RJ Barrett lets you down. But obviously, with the way he's been performing, seems like a decent enough play. So I can't really talk anyone out of that one.
Yep, for sure. Let's move on over to the next game. We got the Nuggets and the Kings. Big T, is it a Jokic night? You're the Nuggets guy. You'll be able to tell us that. And then also on the opposite side, Sabonis, he's suspended for a game. So Damian Jones seems like a strong value. Trey Lyles, likely going to start at 4K. Something that we played at the 3K price tag and wasn't too bad. Then had that one game, the next 77% owned and absolutely busted. So De'Aaron Fox, 9.3K feels like a hefty tag, but it's a lot of usage to go around for now, De'Aaron Fox. Big T, are you going to pay that 9.3 price tag on a guy like Fox? What are you doing with the chalk Damian Jones? And then what are you doing with Jokic on the slate?
Yeah, I mean, Jokic is just, that game he had the other night was just insane versus New Orleans. Maybe one of the best games I've ever seen. I mean, just so freaking good. And I mean, how does he not win the MVP? I mean, it's a whole different, I don't want to go down this alley, but he's playing with dudes like his supporting cast is so much worse than all these other studs in the conversation. And I mean, they're like 10, 11 games above 500 with this crew. Just outrageous. After he won the MVP last year, it's outrageous how good he's playing. I do get why they don't want to give it to him twice. As far as this game, though, yeah, Jokic definitely in play against Sacramento. I still like LeBron more than him tonight, but for number two, I think Jokic is my number two. A massive floor, like DC said, too, when talking about Giannis. I mean, these guys, even when he has a bad game, he's getting you in the 50s, which we don't want. We're not going to be happy in the 50s, but that's like in a blowout type thing. So Jokic, and then the Kings are interesting. So everyone's going to play Damian Jones, which I understand against Jokic. Great play, 3,400 projections, mid-20s. Great play. I kind of like Trey Lyles more just because, for one, he used to play for the Nuggets, this team. I think his skill set matches up a little bit better against the Nuggets than Damian Jones. I mean, Damian Jones is going to get barbecued by Jokic, which I worry about. And if he's going to be really chalky, which he is, I think, I mean, he could be upwards of 50-60% owned for Damian Jones. Those are like the chalk plays I tend to get off of more than other people because, yeah, if he doesn't get in foul trouble, he'll definitely get there. But there is downside. And if half the field has him and he gets 15 or something, you're just way, way above the field. And I don't know. He's a good play. The projections are going to love him. I don't like him as much. I'm not paying 9,300 for Fox, though, not on this slate. No one else really for me in this game. Just Lyles and Damian Jones.
The chalk backup centers that are cheap, like Damian Jones, where it's like the biggest risk is the foul trouble, right? Like it's like I feel like the first like 6 minutes of the game determines if that player is going to get there. Because if they get out of that first like 6 or 7 minutes with like 2 points and 4 rebounds, and you get them back on the bench before they get 2 fouls, they're like, all right, they're going to get there like mid-20s. But if they get those 2 early fouls or just don't get any production that first shift, it's like it could start to look really sketchy. It just depends on ownership for Jones, right? Like if you said he was going to be 30% owned, of course you just play him. But how owned is he going to be? I mean, we saw campaign was like 94% owned last night. Like sometimes these ownerships can get crazy with everybody using projections and, way crazier than they used to get. So I don't know what Jones will end up, but there's obvious paths to failure for him, right?
It'll get higher and higher too, DC, if news doesn't hit your way as well. Like remember that. Like if news isn't going nuts, like you can figure it out later on in the night. Like if you're looking at the slate, like you can easily say, okay, how many teams have centers left? And like, you can just figure it out. It's
all of them.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely could be the case. And like, let's say you are behind, right? Like, let's say like you're really struggling, like find some other center to make a pivot to maybe in like the later games. I don't know if there's a lot though too, but again, this is a tough game. I think that there's some good options here, but there's also could be some bad chalk as well. So we'll definitely have to see how that all shakes out. Guys, if you could hit that like, subscribe to the channel. We got almost 500 watching, 193 likes. So we'll make the number 250 to give out those plays of the day. If not, we're going to cut it short. We'll get on out of here, and then K Fallick will be happier. So that's something that definitely K Fallick will like. So let's move on over to the second to last game. Let's talk about the Portland Trailblazers and the Utah Jazz, where Brandon Williams, the price hike, man, he got 49 DK points last game, but he's 5'5". DC, I'll go over to you because you're the guy that kind of just says, well, the price isn't high enough. Like you can keep playing these guards for the roles they're in. You talked about with Brandon Goodwin. Do you think that's the same with Brandon Williams? What are you doing with him at 5.5K? Let's start there.
I think he's a decent play there. I was actually on Josh Hart in that last game against Minnesota. I'm completely whiffed on that one, which sucks when you just get something completely wrong. I thought Hardwood might take over that role, and it was all Williams. Obviously had that tremendous game. You had to have him. I believe he's still in minimum price on FanDuel, 3,500. We were joking about it yesterday. I guess we've come to the point of the season where they've just given up on the pricing, but 3,500 on FanDuel, I think you got to play him there basically. 5,500 on DraftKings is a lot more interesting. I do think he's the best play on Portland, but not an easy matchup. Could easily get blown out. I don't know. Again, curious to hear what ownership might come in and buy, but my hunch is to fade Williams tonight if he's going to be, I assume not heavily owned, but moderately owned. I don't think this is like a campaign situation where he's just going to smash every time.
Yeah, and the chat brought up a good point. Brandon Williams is 3.5 on FanDuel, so like play him over there for sure. Definitely going to just be a free square. Any interest in the Jazz guys, DC, or is it just 13 game slate? Not too excited about them.
Yeah, not much. I mean, like Gobert's cheap, Mitchell's cheap on FanDuel. If you want to plug those guys in, they're the last guy in your lineup. You end up them from a late swap situation or whatever it might be. They're fine, but not going to be in my lineup at the start of the night. You know what I mean? Like guys that you could end up on, but no, not targets for me tonight.
I agree with you there. Let's go over to you, Big T. What's your thoughts here on this one? Break it down for me, Jazz and the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, I mean, you guys basically broke it down perfect. I think you could still play Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a great play, especially in Utah. But I mean, especially on FanDuel, we're going to play him 3,500 point guard. But I don't think he's totally, especially if you like playing 150. Even at 5,500, it is like DC's been saying with some of the other spots like this. If he plays point guard and he gets the decent run, I mean, he's got a good chance to crush still. Not going to be a core play, not going to be a guy on my main team, but in my 150, definitely will have some and a lock button pretty much on FanDuel at 3,500. Not going to play any of these other Portland guys. I love Hart, but man, 7,700. Is he still like 6K on FanDuel? I think you can play him on FanDuel if he's like that price. I don't have FanDuel up, but how much is he on FanDuel?
I think he's cheaper.
Yeah, he was like in the 6K range.
5,900.
Yeah, we could definitely play Hart at 5,900 on FanDuel. And Mangone brought up good points about Utah in the earlier segment, but Donovan Mitchell is one of those guys I feel like crushes blowout spots a lot, where they're up 20 and he somehow still gets his last run. I've seen a bunch of times where you think he's going to come out, or I mean, not come back in the game, and like 6 minutes left, they're up 20. They'll still bring him back in, and like he'll totally get one more push. I think even one of my big hits this year, that happened to me where he came back in when I didn't expect it and then just crushed. So he's going to be low owned. Not many people are going to like him, but you can definitely play Donovan Mitchell because even in a blowout, he could crush. Nothing else in this game for me, though.
Yep, with you on that. Let's move on to the last game, Wizards and the Clippers. And we got definitely an interesting lineup now. Porzingis is in that lineup, and Kuzma, that kind of hurts him a little bit here. And then the Clippers, I don't know, they're a team I just haven't really been playing. Reggie Jackson's price has been good on FanDuel, so I should mention that, 7.1K. Has not gone up enough while he's 8.8K over on DK. DC, let's go over to you. Talk to me about this game. Is this just one we're fading like last game of the night? Maybe you play some Showdown with Rubio's playbook, but I'm pretty much out on this one. What about you?
You're out on Porzingis, 6K on FanDuel?
I didn't even know he's 6K on FanDuel. But the thing is, I hate playing Porzingis. But he is always tempting on the FanDuel. Oh, man.
Has he played yet on this team?
Yeah. So
he played one game.
He played on
minutes and 36.75 fantasy points, but only 21 minutes.
Yes, that was, but okay. So he played Saturday. I believe that was Saturday. Again, 37 fantasy points, 21 minutes. They rested him Sunday, and then the coach said, he's going to rest Sunday, and then now it's Wednesday, right? And he's going to be a full go after that. So, I mean, he's the starting center, right? You love Porzingis much more. At least I do when he's the center, not the power forward next to another big man. Good matchup against the Clippers. I mean, I think he can fire away from deep against Zubac and Hartenstein, right? Like those guys aren't going to be able to close him down on the perimeter. So I'm not the biggest Porzingis guy either, but starting center, if there really is no minutes limitation, matchup is good, price is cheap on FanDuel, and I think he could smash on DraftKings too. This team doesn't have that much scoring and rebounding outside of Kuzma. So yeah, this center role for Porzingis, I think could be a very good one. So I like him, especially on FanDuel. I think he's almost a must play for me, but I like him on DraftKings too, 7,600.
All right, Big T, thoughts on this game? Is it a fade, or did DC convince you here on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like who's this guy popping into the show?
Yeah, K Falik.
K Falik said, my bad. He was just popping.
I'm
sorry, guys. I was just coming for the 6 o'clock show, and Simon, for some reason, let me in. I was just coming on for our show starting in 1 minute.
Tell them who you like in this game while I finish my college team in this last
I don't even know what we're talking about. I was just coming on for my show. So what game?
We're talking about the Wizards and the Clippers. The last game.
Next game. Goodbye.
What about on FanDuel? 6K Porzingis?
No.
I hate Porzingis too.
I
literally hate.
All right, come on. 1 minute.
All right. Well,
who let this guy in here? He's ruining our mojo.
Yeah. Falik, this is bad mojo. You're not coming to the party. You're jumping on the show early.
All right, I wish I could come to the party.
No. This is garbage. The floor is yours. You have 5 days. Explain to me what you're doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Go.
When did the tournament start on Wednesday?
It actually starts Tuesday because there are playing games.
No, those don't count. Those playing games don't count.
So it starts Thursday. So let's take a day out. 4 days. Explain to me your 4 days, K Falik. I'll hang up and listen.
Friday, getting ready for the party that I'm
Oh,
hosting.
you missed Thursday.
Saturday.
What's going on Thursday?
Thursday, I have currently nothing going on except for being with my family on Thursday. But
sounds
Friday,
like you can make a trip. You can make a nice day trip.
and working on Thursday, and then Friday I have to get ready for the party. Saturday's the party, and Sunday is I'm not coming in on Sunday just to come in on Sunday. Unfortunately,
Wait, what? You got to get ready for the party for a whole damn day. What do you got to do?
I'm hosting. Unfortunately, I'm hosting 100 people. I'm not excited about it, guys. I promise. Y'all can keep talking about the party.
How are you fitting 100 people in your house?
Who are these people?
Huh?
Who are these people that you're hosting?
It's my wife's best friend is getting married, and we're hosting a couple shower for them.
Okay.
There's 50 couples that you guys like are friends
How
with?
is there that many people fitting in your house? I'm worried about 35 people coming to my house. How are you fitting 100?
We have backyard. We have meat kitchen.
It's going to be
space.
freezing.
No, it's 70 degrees.
Oh, next week. This weekend
Yeah.
is freezing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Falk, you have the worst excuses. You can
Okay.
come on
Well, I
Sunday.
look forward to seeing you. Hey, Tony, I probably asked the wrong person, but I got tickets to the Predators game on Saturday, and I don't know if you want to go.
I have to pass on that.
Yeah, he
Yep,
definitely
thought you
asked the
would.
wrong person.
All right.
The
let's
DK
finish
gave
up
us
the
all
show
tickets for that
the
thing. I can't
freeloaders
be going to hockey.
can head off, and the premium members can get a good show.
All right, well, we got to do our plays of the day. We got to go to that. So let's cap it off with that. Then we can let everyone else in. Sorry, we've derailed the show. Kay Falk, you're not my least favorite Kevin we've seen today on the show.
My apologies for I didn't know I was going to be hopping on. I was just getting ready for the next show.
Stay here, K-Fal, because you're gonna like my play of the day.
All
Can't
right,
wait.
let's go to DC then. DC, who do you got? Who is your play of the day?
I'm gonna jump on board with the chart man, K-Fal himself. It's a sign. I was debating, but he jumps on the show early. It sealed the deal for me. I'm going to a guy we didn't talk about that much, Cade Cunningham. I do think K-Fal is right. After doing some research during the show, I do think he benefits from the absence of Killian Hayes, who was playing big minutes and had the ball in his hands a lot. It's going to be all Cade in this one. Like what I've seen from him recently. So I'm going with, I assume that's what you're talking about, K-Fal. I hope so. I hope I'm not misreading.
K-Fal talks about way dustier dudes than that. I guarantee he was talking about Corey.
No, I think it definitely benefits Cade Cunningham and Marvin Bagley, and they showed it the last game that the offense is going to flow through the two of them.
I like that little pick and roll duo tonight. I'll say that.
Yeah. So the game definitely is going to flow through them, but I also think it gives more minutes to somebody. When a guy that's missing 30 that plays 32 minutes is out, it's going to impact others. Diallo's back, he's going to play 20 minutes. It's the question of who gets the rest of the 15.
We got a premium show coming, Falk.
Yeah, well, while you're listening to what K Falk's saying, that's a taste of what the premium is. And while we're stroking K Falk, I got a play for you, K Falk. That's gonna be my play of the day that you'll like. Obviously, I would like Dennis Schroeder to be out, but I'm going with Jalen Green at the shooting.
Don't be swooping in on my guy, Mangone. Who does that? I've been waiting all show to give Jalen Green. You swoop in front of me?
That's yours then. I'll give it to you.
You gave the breakdown about that game. You didn't even bring him up.
Because I'm the host of a 13.
Oh, you just robbed me.
Well, then you can have it. It's back to you.
No, I'm jumping on with you. Just like the next weekend, we're arm in arm going to the victory circle. Jalen Green again. We're both taking him.
All right. Jalen Green and the Houston Rockets and Lakers stack going to ship us a ton of money. That's a little sneak preview.
Hey, Falk, this is the night the Rockets, not the other night. Tonight they win us all the money.
Yep.
Well, that K Falk is withholding information because he's going to be on the premium show coming up next. He'll be on with JSU. He'll be breaking it all down with Holden, and he will not be at the party with us because K Falk does not.
Falk's going to tell us about Jimmy Butler being out.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jimmy Butler is out, but we already talked about it. Big T, give your quick breakdown again of why you.
No, K Falk's going to on the premium.
Oh, true. Well, get the charts from K Falk. He knows all of the Miami Heat charts. He's got all the Max Struss and Gabe Vincent breakdowns that you guys need. But we got to get on out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us. For me, Mangone, Big T, and DC. We will see you guys later.